Adjective clauses. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to define an adjective clause, identify the adjective clause in a given sentence.
Hi, Fleck. What are you doing?
Hi, Zizi. I have decided that when I grow up, I'm going to be a painter. So I'm practicing how to draw pictures.
That's great! And this cat you've drawn is really cute.
That's not a cat. That is a tiger. Oh, how will I ever be a painter if I can't even draw a tiger?
Don't worry, Fleck. We'll turn the picture of the cat into a tiger.
While Fleck paints a tiger, let us study all about sentences and clauses. First, let's revise the definition of a sentence. A sentence is a group of words that has a subject and a predicate and makes complete sense by itself. The predicate contains the verb in a sentence. For example, I'm going to be a painter. This group of words is made up of the subject I and the predicate am going to be a painter. The verb is am going. Since this group of words makes complete sense by itself, it is a sentence. Another example is he is a good painter. This group of words is made up of the subject he and the predicate is a good painter, is being the verb. The word good is an adjective qualifying or describing the noun painter. Now, let's look at the definition of a clause. A clause, too, is a group of words that has a subject and a predicate and forms part of a sentence. A clause may or may not make complete sense by itself. In the following example, when I grow up, I am going to be a painter. There are two groups of words, when I grow up and I am going to be a painter. Each group contains a subject and a predicate and forms part of a larger sentence. Hence, we can term each group as a clause. The first clause does not make complete sense by itself. However, the second clause makes complete sense by itself. The clause that makes complete sense and can stand on its own as a sentence is called the principal or main clause. The clause that does not make complete sense by itself and depends on the main clause is called the subordinate or dependent clause. The subordinate clause tells us something more about the principal clause. In the earlier example, the second clause makes complete sense on its own. It is the principal or main clause in this sentence. The first clause cannot stand on its own. It needs the help of the principal clause to make sense. It is the subordinate clause or dependent clause. The first clause does the work of an adverb which modifies the verb I'm going. The conjunction when joins the two clauses. Let's take a look at another example. Fleck has an uncle who is a painter. This sentence contains two clauses. The first clause is Fleck has an uncle, and the second clause is who is a painter. Note that each clause has its own subject and predicate. Let's analyze these two clauses further. The first clause, Fleck has an uncle, makes complete sense on its own. It is the principal clause. However, the second clause, who is a painter, does not make complete sense on its own. It depends on the first clause. Hence, it is the subordinate clause. The subordinate clause, who is a painter, describes or qualifies the noun uncle in the principal clause. The subordinate clause is doing the work of an adjective in the sentence. Therefore, it is called an adjective clause. Let us learn about the adjective clause in detail. Thus, the subordinate clause that describes a noun in the principal clause does the work of an adjective and is called an adjective clause. Let's look at an example of an adjective clause. The tiger that Fleck had painted looked like a cat. In this sentence, that Fleck had painted is the subordinate clause. It describes the noun tiger in the main or principal clause. Therefore, it is an adjective clause. Sometimes, a sentence can have more than one adjective clause. Let's take a look at the next example. Zizi, who's Fleck's friend, painted a tiger that looked very fierce. The principal clause in this sentence is Zizi painted a tiger. There are two subordinate clauses. The first subordinate clause is who is Fleck's friend, and the second subordinate clause is that looked very fierce. The first subordinate clause describes the noun Zizi, and the second subordinate clause describes the noun tiger. Therefore, both of these clauses are adjective clauses.
There! Now it looks like a tiger, doesn't it?
Oh yes! And you look like a colorful artist too. You've got paint all over you.
So do you, Fleck. You look like a colorful clown.
I'm going to keep painting and become a famous painter one day. But before that, I'd like to revise all that we learnt in the topic adjective clauses. A sentence is a group of words that has a subject and a predicate and makes complete sense by itself. A clause is a group of words that has a subject and a predicate and is a part of a sentence. A clause may or may not make sense by itself. A clause that makes sense by itself is called a main or principal clause. A clause that doesn't make sense by itself is called a subordinate or dependent clause. A subordinate clause that describes a noun does the work of an adjective and hence is called an adjective clause. A sentence can have more than one adjective clause.